Oh my God. I cannot believe what I just saw. I can't believe the homophobic language that Michael Bisping used on a hot mic. Jeez. Give me a break. Are you kidding me? This is a real story. This is going viral. Homophobic language, you crybabies. Give me a break, dude. Okay, so we're going to show Michael Bisping's hot mic moment. Okay, and we're going to talk about the homophobic language that he used. And then we're going to talk about Ian Garry deciding that he wants to play the heel because he waged war on all UFC fans all at once today. Now, I just dropped a video that I did about the Layla and Ali WAG book that I'm talking like dropped it. It went live literally 90 seconds ago. So, you know, I don't mean to do back-to-back Ian Garry stories, but like, look, man, I did this. And then after I did that video, he was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an interview and I'm going to tell everybody how I feel about him. And I am going to make sure they know to boo me forever. Not exactly a smart move unless you are trying to play the heel, in which case, brilliant. Brilliant. He's either an idiot or a genius. So we're going to talk about that. But yeah, like I said, we're going to start with the Michael Bisping story. So let's just go right here. Let's just jump right here because this is not funny at all. Like, there's nothing funny about this. I think there's actually really funny to like watch this really sorry version that like someone recorded their television. This is so amazing, dude. All right. Then I'm going to show you the articles being written about this.
What a guy, what a night. UFC 298, Anaheim, California. Certainly one for the books. What a guy. That's fucking gay.
Now, Bisping's right. That was gay. But you know what's more gay is if you have not subscribed to this channel, rung the bell, and then like this video. Hey, guys, I have an idea. Let's get super serious about Bisping saying that the thing that he said was gay. Oh, man, that was gay. Talking about a thing he said. Oh, I'm sure that what he meant was some kind of big slander towards homosexuals. He probably meant that, like, we should just round them all up and put them in a camp. Cry me a river. You obviously know he didn't mean it as a gay slur, you freaking crybabies. But go on a journey with me, a thought exercise, okay? ESPN is owned by Disney, right? Disney is over there like watching ESPN, and like everything that UFC does blows up in their woke faces, dude. It is so funny. It's like, do you got one pay-per-view? And they're like, so wait, who's the champion? They're all Sean Strickland. They're like, oh, geez. Can you make sure he doesn't say anything homophobic? Hey, the best UFC can give them is they're all, well, make sure he doesn't use the F word. And I assumed that when Sean said that, I meant, you know, F-bomb. But nope, no, he meant the F word, the other one. And I was like, wow, that's the best they could give him, dude, is they won't use that. I don't even use that word. I used to say that all the time. I rid myself of that word publicly because, you know, apparently that's like right next to the N-word now, which is ridiculous. I used to call everyone that, dude, and it was never a gay slur. I never called a gay person that. I called my friends that, and then also people I was about to punch in the face, and I was really mad. You know, it's a long time ago, for God's sake. But I got rid of that one. But really, dude, that's gay. That's not a slur. But Disney, you know what I mean? They're like, God, can we just get through one UFC event without there being some kind of homophobia event? Jeez. Oh, so in case you guys thought that, like, you know, this wouldn't be the case. Oh, my God. Former UFC star Michael Bisping caught on a hot mic making a homophobic comment. Michael Bisping spread homophobia via ESPN on 298. Any apology? Former UFC star Michael Bisping caught in homophobia controversy on hot mic moment. Busted! Michael Bisping caught making homophobic remark. Former UFC star caught in homophobia storm after a hot mic on... Oh my God. Former UFC star Bisping caught making homophobic remark. Michael Bisping calls Luke Rockhold anti-gay slur after 199. Man, they've been trying to get this motherfucker for like 9 years. 8 years. Good math, Jesse. That is absolutely amazing. Shut up, you crybabies. Now let's switch gears and let's talk Ian Garry waging war on the fans. Okay, well, at least on the, the majority of the fans who are definitely not going to feel very good about the statement that he just made, which he should have obviously known was going to cause booing forever. So as we get into this, I think I need to say that I watched him this weekend, and I told you guys, he doesn't like being booed. He really does not like being booed. You could tell in the presser, it hurts his feelings, dude. So when he decided today to make sure that the entire stadium boos him forever with this particular quote right here, I was very surprised by that. I was very surprised because now you can't take this back. This is the thing you can never take back, okay? You can take anything else you can take back. This you can't take back. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here's his quote. By the way, I love the Colby Covington call out. Brilliant. And not to mention, how impressive was it that he stayed as composed as he did throughout that fight? Now, I realize a lot of people thought his fight was boring. I personally didn't. I was stressed out the entire time because I'm looking at Jeff Neal. Like, if this guy, I mean, you could just look at the bombs he's throwing at Ian Garry. He's moving very quickly. If he lands one of those, Ian is like an accordion starched. You know what I mean? Accordion knocked out. So I was stressed. I was not bored at all. But, and obviously, if one of those knees up the middle knocks out Jeff Neal, we're having like a completely different conversation. It's not like, oh, it was boring. It's so bizarre to me, that kind of thing. It's like if he lands one of those knees and Jeff Neal gets starched, and everybody's like, Ian Garry is the future. Exactly the same fight, except that, the knee landed 1 inch to the left and actually, knocked him out. It's weird to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So my point is, he stayed very composed. He was very impressive in the fight. And then when he chose who he was going to call out, which he obviously had pre-planned, he chose Colby Covington. Great call out. Pretty good matchup for him too, I think. But so then today he did this. I'm just going to let you listen to this quote.
All the shit he will have said leading up to that fight, I'll talk to him when I beat the fuck out of him in that octagon. If Trump's in attendance, I will drag Colby in front of Trump and I will beat the mouth off him. And I'll say, this is what you've created. Boom. This is MAGA. Boom. I was like, it's no more. Get rid of him. Get him out of the UFC. I will silence Colby Covington. I will hit him so hard he never speaks again. And when he loses to someone like me, a young prospect, he's going to go, all right, maybe he goes back to Miami. He's got one girl on one shoulder, one girl on the other shoulder. He's beaten to fucking, he goes, maybe I should rethink my life choices now. Maybe I should retire. Maybe I should do all these. That kid gave me an ass whooping I've never had before in my life. That's the way I want to beat Colby. And I don't care where it is or how it's done. I'm going to destroy him.
Okay, so good promo for getting the Colby fight. Definitely a good promo for getting the Colby fight. And actually, to be honest with you, I have no critique of this from a fight game perspective. I don't have any fight. It's just that if the angle you went was, I am now officially the person who stands for smashing MAGA, MAGA's dead. Well, I think what you just did, whether you like it or not, is now all of the Strickland fans that already didn't like you, I did not like him either. Just for the record, I was not one of these people who's like, I genuinely don't like Ian Garry. What I actually didn't like is how negative everybody was towards him in the presser and everything, like going into the fight, where I was like, okay, now this feels like bullying, Like, that's how I felt this weekend. I was like, now it feels like he's getting bullied. Why doesn't everybody just leave him alone and let him fight? And then he went and did this. And it's like, okay, so you want it. This is what you want, So this is what you want. You want this. So you're going to get this. Like, this, as far as I'm concerned, the second that someone goes, I want conflict with these people, it's like, all right. I mean, you know what I mean? Now I have no guilt whatsoever. I'm going to fuck with this kid a lot because that's what he wants, clearly. If you have ever been in attendance at a UFC event and seen Trump come in, okay, there's no middle ground on this, okay? It is 99% wild, passionate support, okay? You just said you want to be the guy that punches, goes in front of Trump and says, MAGA's dead. This is what you did. MAGA's no more. It's like, okay, guy. All right. Because I was just about to do a very different type of video, but now, I'll give you exactly what you want. Now, is that bad for his career? No, it's not. It's definitely not bad for his career. And it's really good for my channel because I love fucking with people and he makes it so fucking easy. It's unbelievable. So, praise to him for staying very, very composed in a very hostile environment on Saturday. And I genuinely mean that. Like that, I was not sure how that was going to go. And they're all chanting cuck in the crowd too. I've never used that term because I think it's kind of like a cuck is a very specific thing, It's wildly overused. It's wildly cuck is a very specific thing. It's a person who wants to be humiliated by being like chained and restrained and then watching some other guy just pulverize their wife, okay? Now, I understand in this situation, it's a pretty salacious story, and we're going to get into that in a second. But, that's like the more serious side of this video. The less serious side is Ian Garry just said anyone who likes Trump is my enemy now. And it's like, all right, well, I like Trump, so I guess that is what it is. And this is a genuine message to Ian Garry. You need to fully embrace heel now. As of this moment, like as of the moment that you put that video out, you are the heel. So don't try to win anybody over because it will not work. I'll tell you exactly what I mean, dude. So let's say you take two people, Sean Strickland and you, all right? So let's say hypothetically that someone demonstrated that the WAG book, the whole story about the WAG book was not true, and that your wife really was writing satire, and that all of the hate that she had got was completely unjustified. And the fact that you moved the husband with you guys was this incredibly commendable thing to keep your family together because you were so selfless that you were doing it for the kids and you took on the last name for the same reason. And everyone's all, damn, this guy really is a stand-up man, really impressive when you really think about it. And then let's say that Sean Strickland, it turned out that he had beat the shit out of like 10 influencers, right? Like he was lining them up. We didn't even know about it. And he tricked them. He made them think that they were going to get a boxing lesson. And instead he just beat the living fuck out of them just for his own entertainment because he likes to hurt people that are inferior opponents. And you're like, Jesus, man. Well, one of these people seems like a good guy and the other one doesn't, And then you add in one more data point, right? Where Sean Strickland goes on television and is like, you know what your problem is? You woke agenda fucking weirdo. You guys are an infection. You are breaking the world. Everything that you believe in is what is underneath the rot in society. And then you were like, MAGA's dead. Okay. Every other factor no longer matters. Everyone in the UFC fan base is with Strickland. There's nothing he could do that would change that. And there's nothing you would do that would change that. Nothing. You cannot wash it off. There's nothing you could do to wash it off. Gabrielle, my wife, she put up a post on Instagram. Dude, my wife is actually, like, when it comes to political shit, she's way more to the right than me. She's fucking crazy. They fucked with her kids, Like, they fucked with her kids. We had to flee California because of the shot, like, as far as she's concerned, they came for her kid. Like, she's immovable. You can't even have a fucking rational conversation with her about this shit. But so she put up, I only bring that up because she put up an Instagram post about where it was like, this generation is doing whatever, some kind of music shit. And then she's like, in my generation, the Dixie Chicks were talking about killing Earl. I don't know fucking country music. It's some reference to like a song where the Dixie Chicks, sung about killing a dude. And her entire point was this completely like conservative value of like kids now are pussies compared to how we grew up, right? It was like a total conservative type post. And people eviscerated her in the comments because the Dixie Chicks, spoke out against like George Bush or some shit. I don't know. Like I don't pay attention to fucking country music. But the Dixie Chicks did like, I remember they did this one thing where conservatives turned against them. And like, still now, she puts up this like innocuous Instagram post and everyone's all, fuck the Dixie Chicks, dog. Fuck the Dixie Chicks, man. Fuck those girls, man. Fuck the Dixie Chicks. Jesus, I gotta stop this and edit those. Otherwise, I'm gonna get this demonetized. So my point is you may as well embrace the full heel because you can't come back from this with the fans. There's nothing on earth that UFC fans care more about than UFC except for this. Which side are you on? And if they're on this side, given what is going on right now, especially right now, where you got New York, they're like, hey, Donald Trump, what'd you do? Tell us about your real estate investments. And he's like, I did exactly what every single real estate investor has done for the last 100 years. And they're all, well, we've decided we're going to assign you $335 million or whatever. And every real estate investor in the country is all, what? That's not, you just described the business of real estate investment and development and then just said like, oh, in Trump's case, we're just going to fine him through. It's ludicrous. And simultaneously you have this lunatic chick who's like, yeah, he took advantage of me 30 years ago in a department store. And everyone's all, what department store? She's all, this one. And they're like, I still have the dress. I still have the dress. And it's like, shows the dress. It's like, yeah, that dress actually didn't exist 30 years ago. Do you have any witnesses? No. Do you have any reasonable proof whatsoever that this even happened? I sure don't. They're all, he's going to pay $80 million. Everything's on the up and up, dude. Everything is definitely on the up and up. And then you decided to go, I think I'm going to jump on that team. To all of us. And so, boo this man. Boo this man. But seriously, don't go too heavy on this, Ian Garry. We don't need another fucking person on the side of the brainwashed imbeciles. I assume you're just cutting a promo. That said, your wife did invoke sexism as one of the reasons why she was getting harassed online, which I think she should have just stuck with the WAG books of jokes, since we're going to address that in a second. But we'll come right back to that right now. Actually, that's probably enough. We're going to do the WAG book now.